Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. Hello, everyone. I'm Casey Durango. Oh, grandfather clock's going off. I'm Casey Durango with Go Keto with Casey. I talk about the ketogenic diet, how I have lost 97.4 pounds since January of 2014, and I like to talk to other people about how they might be able to lose weight, improve their health, and regain control of their lives. Thank you for joining. This is a live broadcast. If you do not enjoy live broadcasts, you might want to choose another video. And I'm so pleased to be here. And wow, there are folks here already. This is great. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Hey, Susan Cosmos. Hey, Vicky G from Southeast Washington. I hope the weather's broken a little bit for you guys in the Pacific Northwest. Annie Lewis says good afternoon. So good afternoon. Today is kind of a funny day here in the U.S. We are between a weekend and a national holiday. So some of you may have the day off, some may not. Some of you may not be in the U.S., so it's just another Monday. Today's topic is how to do keto in a crowd. And I was talking earlier with a friend of mine about this, and she brought up the point that she does really well. She has, she never thought she could give up sugar. She never thought she could give up fruit. And bit by bit over the last, I don't know, maybe 2 years, she has found out that indeed she can give up these things that she thought were, she was addicted to. And my opinion is we're all addicted. That's the way we're wired, is to be addicted to sugar for evolutionary reasons. But, and as we know, carbs equals sugar. So a mouthful of table sugar and a bagel and a whole grain muffin and a potato, they're all sugar as far as your liver is concerned. But anyway, she said she's done really well. She does well. She can hang. She feels better when she is not eating this stuff that has made her feel unwell. She doesn't have a great deal of weight to lose, but her blood work is getting to the point where she would, she doesn't want to get that, it's time to start medicating. So she's been doing really well until she's in a group. Now, not just any group, mind you, we talked about it, but when she's in a group of her friends, a social situation, out to dinner, a party, cocktail party, a book club, whatever it might be. She says, if it's in front of me, I'm going to eat it. If it's a sweet, I'm going to eat it. And she says, but it's only when I'm in a group. So she, and I don't think she will mind me sharing this with you, we kind of went back and forth, and she was focusing on the fact that I can't give up the sweets. I stumble and I eat the sweet. I eat the cake, the brownie, the whatever it might be. But what I kept hearing her say was not that I'm having trouble giving up the cake or the candy or the whatever it might be. I kept hearing the word group. When I'm in a group, I just find it really hard. So we kind of peel back the layers a little bit, and I said, but she says, I'm just addicted. I said, no, come on now, let's step back. If you were addicted, you'd be sitting in your car by yourself eating this stuff and hiding the wrappers, right? You'd be in a closet at your home. You'd be doing it when you're on your own. No, she's good. If it's not in front of her, she's not tempted. She's not thinking about it. She's not craving it. It's when it's in front of her. In a group, there's the difference. She can do it when she's in a group at her office. And I pointed out, so well, maybe that you don't worry that much about what those folks are thinking. It's the social part. So why would this be? Maybe some of you guys have this as well. And why would that be? Why are you fine until you're around a group of friends? A group of people whose opinion matters. A group of people who maybe you don't want to feel conspicuous in front of them. And if that's the case, ask yourself, are you a people pleaser? Some of us are, and some of us aren't. And some of us, it's not that we don't want to please people. It's just that it's not our bent to make other people feel at ease immediately, even to the detriment of ourselves. Can you guys hear me, by the way? I hope so. Something seems weird today. I hope you can hear me. Just one person say, yes, I can hear you. I'm waiting. Because y'all are talking to each other, but can y'all hear me? Hello? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, it just seemed weird today. Somehow everything looks different. So, what? Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan Cosmos, for the super chat. Just saying, hey, forth. Thank you. So if you're someone who you do well until you get into a social situation, ask yourself, at that point, let's face it, it's not about the food. If you are fine until you're in front of other people, and maybe until you're in front of certain other people, whether it's in-laws, your family of origin, friends you've known since high school, whatever it might be. Hi, Ruthie. Thank you for the super chat, you darling thing. So let's stop thinking of it in terms of I'm having trouble with the food, because if you're not having trouble with the food when you're at home alone or with your family of choice, or you're at work and you're fine, until you get into that certain group, ask yourself why. Is it that you feel embarrassed to be the only one not partaking? Is it that you feel like you're going to hurt someone's feelings if you don't eat something they have served or prepared or brought? Is it that you don't want to be this focus of attention? You don't want to be the only one not eating because you're concerned that everyone's going to be looking at you and either saying or thinking, why are you not eating the cake? So if that's the case, let's figure out, first of all, why do we care? And I'm not saying you shouldn't care, but I'm saying, why do you care? Then I want to get to the why do you care? Because probably nobody's thinking about what you're eating, but if they are, so even if they're very good friends, even if they are people who are going to say something that might embarrass you, so as far as I know, no one's actually died of embarrassment. People do die of diabetes. They do die of congestive heart failure. Nobody really dies of embarrassment. But why should you be embarrassed because of a food choice? It's a food choice. It's actually a food non-choice. Thank you. I don't care for any cake right now, but I will take another cup of coffee, and if you have heavy cream, I'd like that. Why should anyone care? If they give you a hard time about it, I want you to think about what their motivation is. Why would they care? Why would they say anything about it? Why would they not want you doing something that you've said you're not going to do? Thank you very much. I don't care for carrot cake right now. Why not? You don't like carrot cake? Just don't care for any right now. You don't know anyone an explanation for what you do or do not put in your mouth. So to recap, if you do not struggle with food until you're in a group situation, it's not the food necessarily. Because food is all around us, okay? You can't go very far without seeing images of food, without smelling food, without seeing advertisements for food, without walking past food. So if you're not being triggered all day long and all these other things, maybe you have a better handle on food than you think, but you may not have as good a handle on dealing with peer pressure. And that's something maybe some of us have not had to think about since we were teenagers. So if you feel like you are, and you're not even aware of it, but if you find your behavior changing when you get around a group, and maybe it's a particular group, or maybe it's when you get around one particular person, and you change your behavior because of that person's presence, maybe you are anticipating that they're going to have thoughts about you, or they're going to say something about or to you. I want you to ask yourself what you would say to your kid, if your child or a good friend or your husband, your wife, or your coworker said, "Oh, I do fine until I get around Sally Joe. And then I have just got to light up a cigarette." Okay. What would you say to that person? To your friend, to your kid, to your coworker? Well, maybe Sally Joe's a bad influence on you. Or maybe you just need to not worry about what Sally Joe thinks. Give yourself the same good advice you'd give a loved one or a friend. Don't put other people's opinions in front of your self-interest. It's not selfish. It's good for you. And it's what you need to do. Okay? So that's my little thought for the day. Keto in a crowd should be the same as keto anywhere else. Or whatever you're doing. Whatever works for you. You know, if you're someone who has issues with alcohol, you have to be prepared to be in a social situation. This is the same thing. Doesn't mean it's easy, but try to prepare yourself for it. So if you know, okay, whenever I get around this group, I know that there's going to be 3 types of desserts, and everyone's eating, and they're all enjoying it, and I cave every time. Ask yourself, is it because of the people? If it is there one particular person? And do this. Preset your brain for thinking, okay, it's Martha who's in the group. And I know she's judgy. She's abound to, she has very little filter. She's going to say something, or I know she's going to talk about me as soon as I leave the room, and she's going to have an opinion about what I'm doing, and is that a wacky diet, or whatever it might be. I want you to imagine having a conversation with Martha. Anticipate what you think she might say, and then anticipate how you would respond in a non-emotional way. And then I want you to ask yourself, does Martha get a vote? Okay, lecture over. I want you to just take away that no one's influence should be more important than your own for your health, for your choices, for what you put in your mouth. Nobody else gets a vote. Nor do you get a vote in what other people do. Would you ever, in front of people, and they're eating low fat, and they're eating, fat-free cheese, would you ever say, "Oh my God, how do you choke that stuff down? That's so bad for you"? No, you wouldn't do that. Don't tolerate it from someone else. You can be polite, and you say, thank you so much for your concern. And that's all you have to say. All right, guys? All right. Hey, Marion. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Good afternoon. Oh, hiya, Casey. Jean O'Connor. Hey, Jean. Set the example for all of them so that you can help them get healthy. Exactly. But I do want to caution you. If someone has not asked your opinion, be very frugal in offering it. Okay? Be very frugal in offering an opinion unless it is asked for. I just ended a sentence with a preposition. Bad on me. Vicky G from Southeast Washington. No one pushes sugars or wheat on my diabetic, glucose intolerant husband, so I expect the same for me when it comes to carbs. No thanks, and move on. That's all you have to say. No thank you. No explanation. No. People can tend to do this. Females tend to do it more, I believe. We will say something, and then we'll immediately start equivocating, justifying, explaining. No explanation necessary. You don't have to say, no, thank you. I don't care for any carrot cake. I'm really trying to cut back on carbs. I know it's kind of crazy sounding. No, just no, thank you. I don't care for any carrot cake. No, thank you. Not hungry. Not hungry should be enough of an answer for anybody. You're not hungry. You're not hungry. Oh, just one bite won't help, won't hurt. I'm not even hungry for a bite. Thank you so much. And thank you for understanding. My husband and I just heard that on the show the other night. We thought that is a brilliant way to end a statement. When someone's being kind of pushy, no, this is what we're going to do, and thank you so much for understanding. It's like, oh wow, what happened? You mean I don't get to say anything else? Okay. Sandy Lamontagne. Good morning, all. Hi, Marion. Ruthie, not a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. Correct, Ruthie. No is a complete sentence. Nope. No, thank you is a slightly longer one. Nancy Jackson, if they ask how much time do you, if they ask, I ask how much time do they have? I've done that too. Okay, I'm happy to tell you, but don't ask me a question unless you want the answer, because I will talk and talk and talk. Leighton Newman, it's about friendships, maybe fitting in with everyone. You know, and fitting in, when did the rule get to be that food is the only way you can relate to people? If the food is the only way you can relate with each other, you may not have as deep a relationship as, excuse me, ding, ding, making sure it's none of my kids, okay. There are many ways to relate to people. How about conversation? How about talking? How about empathy? How about just taking a walk with each other and commiserating, or, you know, it doesn't have to be food. Fran Fittis, I'm drinking Coke Zero. Coke Zero. That's what we like around here. Sometimes I drink water, sometimes I drink Pellegrino, sometimes I drink Crystal Light, a lot of times I drink coffee. But it's the afternoon here, it's a beautiful day, and I'm drinking Coke Zero. Barbara Nelson writes, I just say no thank you, but I'm not interested. And that's all we need to say. So going into this week, this holiday, if you're in the U.S., and a lot of times there's a lot of food. And people want to push food on you. My friend with whom I was having the conversation earlier that kind of spurned this whole thing about, you know, she says she does fine until she gets in a group. She shared with me that there was a person she was talking with said she had passed, my friend had passed on whatever food there was. Hey, Darylyn, thank you for the $2 super chat. Had said, thank you, but I'm really, I'm just not eating sugar. I don't eat sugar right now. I'm trying to cut back on sugar. Excuse me, I think she said I'm trying to eliminate sugar. She said this woman, without skipping a beat. Now, my friend had just said, no, thank you. I'm trying to eliminate sugar. This woman said, hold on a second. Let me go get, you must try this coconut cake I made. Okay. So was the woman willfully deaf at, you know, listening? She'd asked a question of my friend, why are you not eating this and such? Well, I'm trying to eliminate sugar. Oh, well, then have this coconut cake I just made. Was she willfully deaf? Was she rude? Actually, she was a little obnoxious, if you ask me. And guess what my friend did? She ate a little bit, because guess what she is? A polite people pleaser. It's hard. It's hard. So, you know, it is hard. But we owe it to ourselves. Do yourself the same favor you would do to anyone else. Do yourself the same favor you would do to anyone else. You deserve as much consideration as some quasi-stranger in a room full of people. You deserve as much consideration for yourself as a group of friends you see maybe once a quarter. Okay? Not that they're not valuable to have friends. But if they have an issue with what you do and don't eat, it's on them. And a topic for another day will be what happens when you lose friends along the way. Because that happens in life. It does happen in life. And it can happen for a variety of reasons. It can happen because you're evolving and they're stagnant. That happens. And you help your friends if you can, but ultimately we all have to do this ourselves. We are all adults. And we help ourselves. We help those around us when we can. You do your best. And then, as my mother said, you flush the rest. That's all you can do. But be kind to yourself first, okay? It is not selfish to take care of yourself. It is not selfish to take a stand for yourself. It is not selfish to be direct with someone. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to deliver the message in an aggressive or ugly fashion. But you have the right to stand up for yourself. Okay? So we all have group settings coming up. All of us. I don't care whether it's a holiday coming up, a wedding, a funeral, an office meeting, a convention, a conference, a trip to the beach. And sometimes the group can be as intimate as just with your significant other. If your significant other is having an issue with you not joining in all the carb fest because you don't want to, that's a conversation you need to have. And you deserve to have it. You deserve to stand up for yourself. You hope for support. If you're not going to get it, you can do it yourself. You can do it yourself. You know what? We are ultimately, we're not on our own. That's too dramatic to say, hey, Darylyn, thank you for the $5 super chat. And I am going to pause because she's written, has happened 2 times now. Spice, plural of spouse, I like that, of interested friend says, he, she will never do that. He, she will never give up ABC. Helpful response? Great question, Darylyn. Thank you for asking that. I wonder if all of us in this room of 123 people right now have not told ourselves, I could never do that. I could never give up. Boom, boom, boom. For me, I had the conversation with myself that I could never give up tortilla chips in a Mexican restaurant because I enjoyed sitting across the table from my lovely mate eating tortilla chips. If we weren't in the restaurant, he makes wonderful salsa, and we would eat 5 bags of the abuelitas from Costco, 5 bags at a time. And we would sit and just eat. I could never give it up. I thought I couldn't until I found that I could. I didn't think my husband would do it because I said he will never give up rice and beans. It is a cultural mainstay from his home country. I never thought, well, for one thing, I never thought I'd give up chips or rice and beans or sudado de papas or, whatever else it might be. The only thing I can think to say, Darylyn, is, well, they may think that they can't give it up until they realize that they can. And if you stop telling yourself, or if a person stops telling themselves, I can't do something, it opens up a little bit of a crack in the door, a little window opening, saying, well, maybe I can. Stop telling yourself you can't. Or stop telling your friend or spouse, well, honey, you do really well in this, but I know you'll never give up rice. Don't ever say that. And certainly don't tell your kids, yourself, your friends. If someone says, well, it works for you, but I could never give up. Sometimes I have to say, well, then this is probably not for you. But I thought I couldn't until I realized I could. Like so many things in life. Some people think about the second trimester of pregnancy, I can never get through childbirth. I will never be able to get through that. And what was I thinking? Well, you think you can't until you do. And then you do. Right? I could never forgive someone if they did this to me until you do. You don't know what you can do until you stop telling yourself what you can't do. All right? You can do so much. And I'm still learning what I can do. I'm still learning what I can tolerate that I thought would be intolerable. I'm still learning strength that I either never knew I had or I forgot I had. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Living on Less with Wes. I like that. Thank you so much for the talks here. Thank you. And I think I saw Ruthie write that other than my food videos, everything is live here. That has been the case recently. I am trying to carve out the time to make more old school videos. I am so thrilled to be busy with doing this. I do have another part of my life that I'm still needing to kind of deal with. And of course I have my lovely mate. We like to hang out together as well. So there are a lot of things going on, but I'm enjoying all of them. I am going to try to make some more old school videos. So thank you for that. And I hope to be able to do it. It's thrilling to be at this stage of life and getting more and more active and more busy, you know, and happy and excited about every day. Instead of laying in bed in the morning, I'm thinking, oh crap, I have to do that again. Oh crap, I am going to go through another day feeling like this. Ugh, I don't feel that anymore. The weeks are whizzing by, but I'm excited about the next week. So that's a great thing to be at age 59 and feeling more engaged with life than I did at 55 or 45 or 49. Okay, back to my lovely folks. I'm going to start to wind this up here. Does anyone have anything that they would like to ask me in particular? If I can get the message before it pops by too quickly, I'll try to answer it. But you guys are so great at answering each other's questions. I love the community that is here doing this. I love the community that's on Patreon. That has turned out to be a wonderful thing. And I'm so grateful for that. And I do want to thank patrons, and this is a little inside baseball going on here. We all have our struggles. We all have our crappy days. And I had one a few days ago. And I thought about just making my lovely mate deal with the whole thing. And I said, you know what? I'm going to reach out to the patrons. It's a support site, and I need some support. And I reached out, and I got nothing but support back. And it truly helped, guys. It truly did. If you guys can make support groups for yourselves, it doesn't have to be anything formal. Make a little group. Got a message through on the Keto After 40 Facebook group. Someone said, Casey seems to talk with some people who she's seen in Germany on the live things. Is there anybody in Germany can help me? So maybe the folks in Germany can connect and make their own little meetups or groups or whatever. I think that is fabulous. Make your own support community. You know, if you find one other person that you can trust, one other person that will tell you the truth when you need it, soften the blow when you need it, and do both at the same time when you need it, you are a lucky, rich person if you can find that, and search for it and nurture that. I'm blessed because I have found many people now, and I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm just telling you that as an example, you can make your own support group. Find those people, cling to them, let go of the rest. If you've got a group of people and you're eating a meal in front of them, if they're bringing out dessert, and some of them give you the stink eye because you're not eating the dessert, but one person says, I think that's great, and by the way, you're looking fantastic. I wish I had your willpower. Hone in on that person. That's a person to cling to. The ones giving you the stink eye, let them go. People come and go. Find the few. The proud. Okay, guys. Rena Brown, y'all have psoriatic artist, and I can, arthritis. I think she meant arthritis rather than artist. Gene O'Connor writes, the only macro you should be counting is the carbs. Keep them below 20. The rest will take care of it. You know what, Gene? Absolutely. Too much math. Keep your carbs below 20. Eat fatty sources of protein. Eat only when you're hungry. Stop when you're satiated. It is like magic. It will work. Okay, ladies of lead firearms, training for women, what are your macros? I don't know my macros. I don't care about, oh, I said the word. Y'all, you know I've been trying to avoid that word. I said it. I don't know what mine are. Don't care what mine are. Never pay any attention to what mine are. Keep your carbs below 20 total a day. Eat fatty sources of protein. Eat only when you're hungry. I've lost 97.4 pounds. It has been since January of 2014. As of today, I am 12.3 pounds lighter than this day last year. I'm a slow loser, but I don't care. I don't care about being a slow loser. I am happy to be here, and I'm happy to feel this way. Okay, you lovelies. Somebody's asking about it. Squirrel! For those of you who don't know, my hashtag my friend Jen, she and I had a 4-hour conversation, almost the first time we ever met, sitting at a bar. And I have no idea what we talked about because it was a total line of non sequiturs. And we finally realized that was like that movie Up, when you have a dog, the dog is really intent on something and then goes, squirrel. And then the squirrel's the focus. So that's just our shorthand for, wow, we just really got off topic there. Squirrel. Okay, Nancy Hansen, Casey, Dr. Westman, eating raw potatoes for intestinal flora sounds ridiculous. Sounds ridiculous to me. I will tell you something. No, I can't. I won't, because it was not for public consumption. Dr. Westman shared something with me when we were talking one-on-one. I'm going to tell you that it does sound ridiculous to me, and I'm not a doctor. Raw potato. Let me see. Here's what I understand the reasoning is. You eat raw potatoes and something else, unripe bananas, because their starches haven't formed yet. Don't eat starches. Gut flora takes care of itself. Gut flora has been taking care of itself for millennia. Your gut flora, if you don't try to throw things out of balance, and let's face it, when you're eating a lot of carbs, you're throwing things out of balance. Just eat food. I don't know, I think it sounds ridiculous. I will ask him specifically about it. I don't know if he'll want to go on the record with it. I'll ask. Somebody asked about the cruise. I don't know what that, I just saw that word go by. Never heard of that before, LOL. I'm assuming you're talking about the raw potatoes. Apparently it's in the book. It sounds ridiculous to me. It sounds like a way to sell a book. Keep your carbs below 20. Eat fatty sources of protein and only when you're hungry. It really does take care of it. I'm an extremely vibrant and healthy person. I've lost a boatload of weight. My brain is back. And I'm not the only one. Don't listen to me. Listen to the wonderful people here. Don't overcomplicate it. And don't let other people tell you what to eat, including me. Find what works for you and stick with it. Gut flora. Oh, Wanda Landers wrote, we want to cruise with you. Come on. My husband and I are planning on going on the cruise in May that, I don't organize. But come on. It has been suggested that we make our own cruise. But I don't want, I don't know about that. And it has been suggested that I should talk places. I would love to talk. If someone would give me a microphone and an open space and can get me there, I'll talk until the cows come home. But a keto cruise, yeah, I don't know about that. I think there's a whole lot of planning that goes into those things. And I know that came up on the Keto After 40 Facebook page. But I don't know. I'm not one to organize that type of thing. Vicky, so keto after 40, getting crazy posts. We just need a Facebook page for people who follow Casey. Well, I'll tell you what. There have been a couple of changes in the keto after 40 group. I'm the sole person in charge of it now. I was that way at the beginning. I'm back to being that way, for better or for worse, and maybe it'll be worse. But I'm just going to be in charge of it. And I think responding to posts and situations with a consistent voice, shall we say, will help people know. It'll set a consistent tone. Okay? I'm happy to start a Facebook group, except I don't know that I have time. And of course, there's my Facebook page, Go Keto with Casey. But that's not a group type of situation. So anyway, we'll see. You're very sweet to say that. Thank you very much for writing that. But things have changed in the last couple of days. There was, you get 35,000 people in a room, and there's going to be a dust up every now and again. And some of us do not show our better selves through online communication, shall we say. Okay, can we just can we just say that? And maybe I'll shut it down. Maybe I'll shut down the Keto After 40, or maybe I'll just quit taking new members, or maybe I'll shut it down. We'll see what happens. I'm going to sit on it for a couple of weeks. Thanks for the feedback. I do appreciate it. But keep an eye on it. I think hopefully it's going to get a little bit better. I'm going to start, for no other reason than for brevity, I'm going to start closing comments on strings that get more than about 40 or 50 responses, because frankly, who needs more than 40 or 50 responses to a topic? So hopefully the feed will get cleaned up a little bit, and I appreciate people that report posts to me directly. So thank you. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Okay, what does Dr. Westman say about thyroid? I am going to say this because the question comes up many times. With a thyroid, without a thyroid, hyperthyroid, hypothyroid, no gallbladder, gallbladder. There's nothing to contraindicate doing keto, nothing. And there are many people here who have no thyroid or taking, Synthroid or whatever, that do fine on this. It is non-issue. Okie dokie. Oh, yes, and Ruth BF4, Sammy Robinson writes, loving Jean's page. Yeah, go to Jean's page. Go do that. That's fantastic. All right, I am going to wrap up, but Liz Pollard writes, hi, everyone. I'm a little late to the chat. I just left the doctor's office for my physical. My doctor said I'm tip-top health. The only concern is my cholesterol levels. And of course, we know that cholesterol is something that we're trying to educate our doctors on. Again, into this sentence with a preposition. All right, you guys, thank you very much. Have a fabulous 4th if you're celebrating it in the US. And happy Canada 150 for those of you who are celebrating or have celebrated that. And to the rest of the world, hang in there. We're all doing the best we can, right? Oh, and Jean, that is so kind of you to say. Jean O'Connor writes, my page is dedicated to you and Dr. Westman only, Casey. That is extremely flattering, Jean. Extremely flattering. And there are other wonderful voices that could be included in that. There's a lot of information going on. Reminder, if you are in the Central North Carolina area, next week, a week from tomorrow, July 11th, 2017, the Durham Support Group meeting will be on 6:30 to 8. Dr. Westman is, as far as I know, will be there. And the following Tuesday, July 18th, I am trying to put together a Greensboro, North Carolina meeting at Texas Shirley's Pancake House. I need to set that up. So I will send out information on that on my Facebook page, Keto After 40 page, and the Low Carb Support Group Facebook page as well. Okay, you guys, thank you very much. Love you much. I mean it. Thanks for everyone who is so positive about this and the support you give each other. and we are all ripples. And one of these days, all these ripples are going to turn into a flood. And we won't need support groups anymore because it'll just be the way people eat. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Have a great one. And as far as I know, I'll be talking to you again on Friday, and I will try to make some more old school videos. I kind of miss doing those. Bye, guys.